season 4 of Discovery might have been the worst, not just Star Trek. I'm going to be real clear here. The worst science fiction I have ever seen. I'm not saying it wasn't shot well and the graphics weren't good. All that's yes, the quality of the production, but the writing made zero sense. There was so much of that show that was laughably overlooked or purposely overlooked, which makes it worse. Man,
we're going to cover it so much better this year, Brian. We're going to cover it so much better.
There were portions of season 4 where it's like sometimes the characters remembered they had transporters and sometimes they didn't.
I know. It's going to be great.
The butterfly people, whose batshit crazy idea was that?
Well, it's not in this one. We didn't do the article this week, guys, because I thought it wasn't good enough for to really tell you guys about. But it took them 3 months of research to figure out those 10C aliens, and I'm thinking,
oh my god, can we quickly talk about that?
3 months trying to figure that out.
If we're not going to do it, can we just talk about it real quick? Because that's insane.
I mean, that's it. That's the whole story. 3 months to figure out how to do that season 4 finale aliens.
Yeah, it took 3 months on how to get the 10C right. Newsflash, guys, you didn't get it right. It was so all over the place. Oh my god. In the fourth season of Star Trek Discovery, random planets and moons are being rent asunder by the free-floating dark matter anomaly that has recently appeared in the galaxy. The U.S.S. Discovery investigates the anomaly to find out it is not a natural phenomenon. The dark matter anomaly is, in fact, an energy field created by a mysterious, undiscovered species that is eventually designated as Species 10C.
And they're not even in our galaxy.
They're past the Great Barrier.
Yeah.
What's such a stupid? Everything about it was so stupid. Oh god, it was so bad. The entire season is just so garbage. None of it makes sense. So many times you could have pulled out of that absolute tailspin and maybe flew the ship semi-straight, and every time the writers chose to just barrel directly into the ground. Episode after episode after episode of just watching them, it was like they weren't even flying. At some point, they were purposely just digging into the dirt. It was just so horrible. Characters that were spoken about and never mentioned again. Foreshadowing that was never paid off. Characters that were coming out of nowhere. The 10C was so stupid. They communicated with light and scent, and they all figured it out in record time. None of it made sense. The side story with Book and the crazy scientist guy, they're we gotta destroy the 10C. What are you, insane? This entire species is so incredibly advanced that to you, in the 900 years into the future, you see them as basically magic, and you think it's a good idea to try and kill them? What are you talking about, dude? There was so many times I'm watching this season, I'm like, why? Why are you doing this? Don't forget you have a transport. Use the transporters. What are you talking about? Sense of smell? What you're now translating on a feeling? What? This show at one point was translating based on feelings, literally feelings of warmth. And what are you talking about? None of it made sense. None of it. Not a single sentence that came. Why is Burnham the most important person in the galaxy in every version of time she's in? She walks into they just got there, right? And she's in the Federation, what's left of the Federation is voting on this big problem. It's the 10C anomaly is destroying entire planets, and everyone looks to her. What do you think? What? Why is she even there? She's the captain of one ship. Are all the captains there? Do they all get a say? Someone explain this crap to me. It makes no sense.
It sounds to me like you were just as excited about season 5 as me. So that's great.
God, bro. Oh my God. You know what? You're right. I'm excited. I'm excited for this. This is why I'm excited for the worst reason, because we are going to be able to weekly pick this apart. Not in retrospect, not after the fact. We're going to be able to pick apart every scene as it's happening.
Yes. And remember, they're doubling down. They're going to make it like old Star Trek. Remember, they said it. They're making season 5 like old Trek.
Oh, so we don't even have to wait until
I don't even know what it means.
We don't even have to wait until the end of the season to see that they didn't go anywhere with the writing. From week to week, we could literally from week to week see from at the beginning of this episode to the end of the episode how horrible they are writing Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh, it's good. It's gonna be wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I can't wait. Oh
yeah.
So I can't. So good.
So Archmage Frey says that Picard season 2 was the worst sci-fi ever, and I'll tell you what, Archmage, it was saved by one thing, and that was Q and Picard hugging it out at the end, and that made the whole season for me. Nothing else needed to happen except for that hug, and that was fun.
I would disagree that it was the most disappointing ever, but it was. I don't care what anyone says. It wasn't as bad as Discovery. It wasn't. Discovery didn't even make it. It didn't even make. It wasn't logical sense, or Star Trek sense, or in universe sense. It didn't even make common sense. So many parts of Discovery made literally no sense. It was like watching a dream.
Mm.
It was like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, well, that was a wild dream. Why was my neighbor there with a dog face? That watching Discovery is like remembering a wacky dream, and you're my logical mind is trying to make sense of what's happening, and none of it. I can't put any of the pieces together. It's just like week after week. It's just infuriating.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Can't wait.
Well, let's see. There's another good one. Archmage says it's like Christopher Columbus suddenly appearing today and us asking him how to prevent World War III with North Korea. Listen, it's worse than that, buddy. It's worse than that. Christopher Columbus was 1492. That's only 500 plus years ago. How far in the future did Discovery go? Was it 900 years?
Pretty much 1,000 years. It was like 1,000 years. It was like 900 something years.
So it's more like if King Arthur was telling us how to defeat North Korea today.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so weird too. It's like they're in that Federation chamber. I'm like screaming at my TV at like 3 a.m. I'm like, why is she there? Why is she standing next to the president of the Federation?
And your wife's like, what? Ooh, what?
And then when they all looked at her, and she basically makes like the deciding call, like she's like the last vote. Oh, what? What's happening? I'm like over here, losing. I had no words, bro.
Yeah, Jeremy's right. Discovery season 1 was the worst.
Oh, the burn too, in season 3. Oh God.
Oh, that was bad. All right, anyways.
God, it made no sense.
We must move on before we have
some alien had a tantrum and blew up the universe.
Not just some aliens, Saru's people, which makes it even worse somehow.
Somehow makes it worse.